Yeah. Says we're recording. Hello, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, my name is Ryan, aka Ryman, and we are back with Major Minor. You know, I was given some revelations through the comments section through the last video. One of which was, at the rate this is going, there's enough chapters in here to fill all 50 of these. So I either start pumping out like 2-hour-long videos, or I start pumping out like 3 or 4 of these a week. Another revelation is that I did not know Clace is a real person. I didn't know. Okay? I didn't know Clace, this man behind the curtain here for the game, you know. It's a self-insert for the game. Bravo. Okay. Look, Clace, I know you're never gonna watch this, okay? I know you're never gonna watch this. I know you're never gonna watch this. I know your fans are never gonna watch this. And I know the community that Don, Mark, and Aaron are trying to slip into their subreddit forums are ever gonna watch this. So I'll just say this anyway. I didn't know you were a real person. I did absolutely zero research into this game, Mr. Clace. Zero. Basically, I set up the contest for my friends, the tournament. Mark won. This was the game he decided that I should play and visually also record myself. And I bought it and downloaded it and went from fucking there. How you doing, Clace? To my understanding, you're Canadian. Are you Canadian? I think he's Canadian. I think he's Canadian. There's a lot of Canadian things in my life right now, and I'm not Canadian. I need a drink. Hey, Ryan, what are you drinking? I don't know. Depends who wants to give me money. Tastes good, though. Ryan, did you just smell your drink before you drank it? Yes. Yes, I did. I have this habit where I smell everything that I drink before I actually drink it. I can't explain the habit. I always just tell people around I'm checking if it's poisoned. Look, Clace, I never said I was a normal human being, okay? Oh yeah, where we left off, shirtless, fuzzy, furry dragon dude showed up? If he's a dragon, why do you have hair? I thought they have scales. Say, if a dragon breathes fire, how exactly does it blow out a candle? It's one of the thoughts that's been keeping me up at night. Yeah, Mr. Singe. Thank you. Thank you all for coming here today. Even though we've all had no sleep. I'm honored that you chose to be here. He bows to us, much like Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rock. Much like Mr. Rogers. Much like Mr. Rocker. In a few minutes, the press will come. Now, there's a goddamn crossover event that I didn't think this world needed or deserved. Mr. Rogers enters Major Minor. In a few minutes, the press will come. The doors will be unlocked for everyone. I'd be honored if you came in first. I like for all of us to be on stage. I want us to appear united in this crisis. Yes, Mr. Singe! I'm not actually part of the group! Oh! I tell you what I can do. I can be your interpreter for deaf people. You know, I'll stand behind you and just make up a few signs. I know a few. The rest I can just make up on the go. I always wanted to do that. I always just wanted to just stand behind someone giving a speech and be the interpreter. I know a few. I legit know a few back from college, but I forgot most of it. I believe this is fuck you. I think this is bitch. I think this is Jew. This is bullshit. Yeah, like cameras. You get the idea. This is vagina. Moving on. And you know what? Silly, not important to the plot, taking up precious time, but now you know something. You're learning. You're welcome. As a team with nothing between us, we've endured a tragedy. We need to show the world our strength. We are a family, even in grief. Our public image is very important now. We must remain as resolute as possible. We can't have anything falter today. Please come and take your seats with me. We'll begin as soon as the room fills up. He bows again and goes back into the conference hall. Not a moment later, we all start to follow him, unsure of what the conference has in store, and unsure of what shocking truths await us. The morning after the tavern incident. Oh, that's a nice staircase. Oh, God! I nearly forgot about you. It's Lord Player. I forget what I did for your voice in the past, so fuck it. I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in. I've now taken in the architecture. That wasn't much to take in. Would you mind starting from the beginning? I haven't had my morning coffee just yet. My mind is cloudy, to say the least. You're not the only one who is taken aback. These events shock me as well, my lord. I apologize for keeping my agenda hidden. You would never endorse my actions of strangling me? Even if they were for the greater good. Who are you, the fucking Tao? Just threw that nerd card out there for the world to see. So I've had to take things into my own hands. You mean your own paws. It's a little furry joke for y'all. Of course, and I still don't believe it. Enemy and Conrad are my trusted allies. I laugh at the notion of their betrayal. I'd never dedicate resources to that. Yet, here we are, in the present. You have evidence backing your claim. Of course, I always validate my word. Last night, I ventured to the tavern. Enemy and Conrad were there as well. But they had someone with them. An immigrant from another world. One they will not be giving to you. In fact, they're bringing him to Velasquez. This directly violates your truce. Were they not to bring everyone to you? You're keeping tabs on this immigration. Yes, that was the plan, Riley. All of it should go through me. Easier to keep track of that way. Is there a chance you misheard things? Perhaps they used Velasquez as a cover, just in case anybody overheard. Impossible. They filed the paperwork. This immigrant is now fully sanctioned. They violated the truce, my lord. Indeed. That is irrefutable proof. It's possible for me to work with that. This immigration is now in the records. But I wonder, what does Velasquez want? Of all people, he wants an immigrant? This must be an important person. Of that I am unsure, but I feel like it's irrelevant. No explanation can excuse betrayal. And you know Velasquez's stance on that. Yes. So, it's treason then. He's too friendly to these off-worlders. I'm glad I was able to open your eyes. You're right, and I appreciate that. But now my curiosity is affecting me. Careful about that curiosity. You are a cat after all. I don't apologize. But just who could this immigrant be? My two main allies would betray me, and the king wants to see them personally. There might be more here than meets the eye. Again, I'm not sure, but you could ask them yourself. I did what you wanted. I did what you had wanted, my lord. I took action after seeing this betrayal. It was either that, or let them win. I paid this soft-worlder a visit. One thing led to another, however. They ended up passing out. You choked me out! It was unfortunate, of course, but an opportunity presented itself. I took them. They're in our prison. What? Did you move my lifeless corpse into a jail cell? What? Nani? Riley, how could you be so foolish? I can't believe what you're telling me. Do you realize what you've done? You what? You abducted a legal immigrant? One that was wanted by the king? Velasquez will have us under scrutiny. Quick! We need to burn everything! Burn the evidence! Eat what's left in the ashtray! You keep coming up with these revelations. First, it was that Kalen worked for Righty, but then you go and do this to us. We'll have two assassins target us! Under the pressure of a royal mission, too! And everything was going good for once! You fucking twat! I can't believe you would do this! Discretion was our greatest ally, you fuck! 2 guilds will soon be upon us! Please, Lord Player, I can explain! There must be a lapse in your judgment? Your sense of common sense? Trust me, this is far worse than a lapse. If I didn't trust you, I'd almost think... Player stops in the middle of his sentence. At that point, he comes to a shocking realization. Riley, you wanted me to get caught. Well, don't fucking leave me off on that episode of 90210! Any kids that watch this episode is probably not going to understand that reference. I think. What the fuck do kids these days watch? We all file into the conference room one by one. Everyone brings their sense of anxiety with them. It isn't long until we reach the stage area. It's lined with enough seats to fit us all. We stare onwards at the empty room before us. Soon it would be filled with those who seek answers. Fans, press, and everybody in between. But there was a common goal among them. Enlightenment. I sit on the far right side, with Keela to my left. Then there's Acheron, Singe, Shock, and Rocker. A woman with long yellow hair is there as well. There's Daz! She's back from her crime-fighting shenanigans. Inumi sits beside her, with Rook to his left. It seems like everybody is here, save for Jade. But when the doors open, people spill in. Sure enough, she's among the press and citizens. It seems like Acheron and Singe are getting along. They're lost in conversation amongst themselves. I would have started the conference long ago, but Singe is probably waiting for latecomers. After a while, he picks up his microphone. It appears that every seat on stage has their own. Would I be expected to talk during this? The fuck would I say? Do I break out in a song? The moment Singe speaks, the crowd becomes silent. I'd like to... He cuts himself off. There's extreme feedback coming from the mic, and as a man who had to work in the technical department back in college, I know this situation. Someone's jumping in soon. Where's the tech guy? Someone get the mage! Some in the audience cover their ears. Some people in the audience need to stop being fucking babies. It's fucking feedback. Get over it. I'd like to thank you all for coming. I know it's early, but this has to be done. A longer wait means more restlessness, and that means filling in the blanks. I've called you here to be fully open. That would explain the shirt. I now understand. Who the fuck is text messaging me? Not now. Something has hurt us profoundly. We'll carry it with us forever. It'll scar us for years to come. So please, be respectful. There will be no flash photography today. Or recordings of any videos for that matter. No recordings for any videos, you say, huh? I'm gonna record this entire press conference and no one can fucking stop me. What's he gonna do? Reach through the computer screen, pull me by the fucking collar off my PJs and pull me into this weird world? There is a nightmare I'm not willing to risk having. I understand some of you need notes, especially members of the press. But this is as far as we can go. With that said, I will now begin. Thank you, Piano Man. I relay this news with a heavy heart. Last night, our own idol passed away. At midnight, Clace was murdered. The audience starts talking amongst themselves. I see several people scribbling down on notepads. Alright, people are wondering why the fuck I just burst out in the laughing. Alright, because I was originally going to read the cause of death was erotic asphyxiation. Then I realized it's a dumb joke. I laughed at it anyway and said it. Now I have tea all over my desk. But it was under mysterious circumstances. It implies suicide, but that can't be true. Clace was not the type to do this, especially so close to the tour's launch. It's an impossibility. Please disregard it. With that said, I will take questions. But please remain considerate today. Remember, we are in a state of grief. Sin, sir! Ah, fuck! I have a question. Why did I go into Skeletor / Papyrus voice? If you are willing. By all means, fuck. Feel free to ask whatever you'd like. You mentioned the method of death. Asphyxiation under mysterious circumstances. Exactly how is asphyxiation mysterious? When you don't know what caused the asphyxiation. Back to you! A lack of oxygen is not mysterious. I'm afraid I'm a little confused. And I'm Ryan! Oh god, they are just setting it all up for me to knock him out of the park today! The press and the audience start nodding in agreement. As if this was a question on all of their minds. So at this point, would I also be the person standing behind Singe doing the sign language? You are correct. I'm glad you asked. And I hope to ask the same of the police. They hastily branded these as suicide. Clace had markings around his neck. They imply the use of a noose. But there was no noose at the scene. Well then, this is definitely odd. Thank you for answering my question, more at 11. Fukumoto returns to his seat. I'm surprised he didn't twist any of Singe's words. This is why the official ruling is odd. The lack of evidence is very suspicious, and it implies several possibilities. The body may have been moved in post-mortem, or the culprit made off with the evidence. Both point to the same shocking truth. These were murders, plain and simple. The affected families deserve the truth. Why were our loved ones taken from us? And who committed these egregious crimes? I stand here today speaking for the many. Those who lost their husbands, their wives, even their children and siblings. The police must reinvestigate this case. They cannot give up so easily. Someone send in the junior detective. 5 Rayman Empire fun bucks if you know what the fuck I just referenced. And they will have my full cooperation. There's one thing I want to accomplish. This case will be closed before we leave. We will return to America enlightened. And to that end, I will move on to the subject of our world tour, and precisely what will happen next. I am proud to announce we will continue. The world tour will go on as it was planned. The audience burst into conversation again. It seems that they weren't expecting this announcement. We will do what Clace would have wanted. Instead of backing down, we persevere. We persevere. Daz will head the tour in his place. She has graciously agreed to this burden. I cannot thank her enough. Surely, it is a monumental undertaking. He motions to the woman with the yellow hair. Oh, interesting! So that's who she was! The launch will turn into a memorial. Not just for Clace, but for everyone. Every person affected by these deaths. A series of his hits will be performed, but Daz will sing some new songs as well. Shock and Rocker will stay to help out. We as a family will honor the lost, as well as launch Daz's new career. Trust me, she is very talented. That was definitely a lot to take in. I guess they have a steady supply of idols. She must be talented to follow in Clace's shadow. I will open for questions one more time. God damn it, Fukumoto, is there no other goddamn reporter in the crowd? This will be my last question, Singe. But I'm asking this as a friend. Huh? Are you worried for the safety of Daz? And of the Lucky, too? What if this culprit strikes again? What precautions have you taken? Actually, I'm not worried about this at all. There is no evidence of us being targeted. There's no evidence of Clace being targeted. And yet he's dead. But there is a little more to explain. In fact, I have one last announcement. And I have full clearance to reveal this. What do you mean you have full clearance? Clearance? Someone cleared you to do this? Aren't you the boss? Who the hell are you answering to? Oh, for a second I thought he had 3 horns, but that's his other ear. Please do not assume I am leaking any info. But have a seat while I continue. Sit the fuck back down, fuck. Very well. Now, this information is known only to me. I haven't revealed it to anybody. Not even those involved in the tour.
Oh yeah, boy. If I wasn't already sitting, I'd sit right the fuck down and take this in.
What could it be? I know Zacharon shifts uncomfortably in his seat, and there go the dogs. It looks like he's annoyed at hearing this. I will be keeping everybody in here. I won't allow them to leave this building. Does that include the reporters? Does that include everyone else in this room? Are we all about to die? Is the Joker about to walk in through those doors somewhere and release a whole bunch of his gas? But this is for a very specific reason. And it involves Armstrong Incorporated. No, he's keeping us in here. What does this have to do with Armstrong? Acheron's ears perk up, which I suppose would be what? Would it be Acheron's ears perking up? Would that be like boing? Oh god, I just made a fucking gif. Mistakes have been made. Clace, mistakes have been made. Many. Anyway, Acheron, he looks visibly pissed. I know Maxine Armstrong piqued curiosity. Her arrival in Tokyo was quite mysterious. But today, we will reveal the truth. She gave me an offer when she arrived, and wanted protection for everybody here. Both by hired guns and technology. This is the sole reason she's in Tokyo. She offered us the best of her services. We are safe now, by so many means. It was all our doing. Unfortunately, we couldn't protect Clace. I feel somewhat at fault for his death. I caved in under some pressure. I initially had him on a tight leash. I didn't want him getting into trouble, but people said I was being too harsh. I decided to give him some freedom. And then, look at what it caused. I should have stuck to my gut feeling. I remember hearing something about that yesterday. That Clace was being kept on a really tight leash. Oh, there's a furry joke in there somewhere. I don't want to dig too deep. I think I'm already in too deep. I'm in so deep, I fear now that I'm gonna need something a lot stronger than this tea. They said it was because the public was scared of him. Oh, because the death started as soon as he arrived. I can now see that this was not the real reason. Sims was just trying to keep him safe from harm. I'm ashamed for not realizing that sooner. The explanations I heard earlier must have been lies. I don't think the public was scared of Clace at all. It just seems that it was Singe who was scared all along. I apologize for getting off track there. But it was my answer to your question. That is why I'm not worrying anymore. This time, I will keep the leash tight. Someone's going to die. Nobody will be allowed to leave on my watch. We'll be under constant surveillance. Further harm will be impossible. Everybody will now be protected. This time I will stick to my instinct. I will trust in the guard I have hired. And I will trust in Armstrong Incorporated. Acheron jumps out of his chair at hearing this. I can hear loud growls coming from his mouth. I can't really growl because I'm not a dog, but here we go. Is that the noise he's making? What the fuck am I doing with my life? You know, this goes out to like the literal 3 people who actually watch these videos that are still here, toughing it out. They're watching a grown man growl at his microphone, sipping diet tea, reading off lines from a furry dragon in a murder mystery interdimensionally traveling visual novel. We had such high hopes for society back in the 90s. Oh well. He's fuming, unable to contain his anger. He must have been holding this in for a while. Singe! Are you insane? What? Singe is definitely surprised at this interjection. Not the way I read that line. I read that like he kind of just slowly turned from the podium. It's like, what? I guess it was more like a... Nani? Oh, man. Oh, we have fun here. This is why I couldn't be a voice actor. Saying, Ryan, you want to do that line again? Okay. What? Singe is definitely surprised at this interjection. The audience is and they watch it fright. So that's Singe. What? Everyone else at the table up front. What? And then everyone else in the audience like, what? It turned into a parrot at the end. What? Explain yourself at once, Acheron. Back to serious. Think about what you're saying. You want to keep everybody inside? After you've lined the place with weapons? This isn't Cuisine Royale. You've turned us all into sitting ducks. Armstrong's weapons can be hacked. They're not as foolproof as you think. Real manpower can never be replicated. Get out of my head, Metal Gear Solid series. I don't need your references in my head right now. You can't be serious about this, Singe. Everybody important to Clace is in here. And now they're surrounded by weapons. How can you be so... I'm gonna ad lib here. How could you be so butt-fucking retarded? Acheron pushes Singe back against the wall. He holds him in place by his white collar. But Singe remains calm and collected. The audience gasps and watches on in awe. Except that Paul back there in the corner is like, with the popcorn. Paul's back there like Michael Jackson in the movie theater. It's like, I'm just here to read the comments section. Of course. That's him trying to do visually here. That's him brushing off Acheron right now and neatening, tidying himself up. Of course. I read your psych evaluation. A seething hatred for Maxine Armstrong. I should have expected this outburst. Acheron, I advise you to back the fuck down. You're only compromising your position. If I fire you, then she wins. Right? Compromise, you say? You're the one compromising everything. You just told the world how to kill us all. Hack some weapons, set them off. We all need to evacuate immediately. Think logically, Acheron. These weapons are extremely high-tech. They can't be hacked as easily as you think. They need authorization codes to set off. Only myself and Maxine know these codes. We both desire protection, Acheron. I will only use them if we are in danger. You believe I didn't think this through? I'm not as stupid as you think. I know exactly what I'm doing here. I like to remind the audience that that particular line is like one of the most famous last words. These weapons are of last resort, in case your expertise fell through. And it looks like it might be starting to. I suggest that you let go of me. Return to your seat immediately, Acheron. You're only making a fool of yourself. You just don't understand it like I do, Singe. Weapons cannot keep people safe. People are supposed to keep each other safe. You seem to be very worried, Acheron. You're scared of an infinitely small thing. A thing with almost impossible chances. Why do you hate Armstrong so much? What did they take away from you? Acheron releases his grip, but not calmly. He lets out a sharp growl in Singe's direction. And then he returns to his seat with a look of shame. Singe dusts off his lab coat with his hands. as if the altercation made him dirty. I'm terribly sorry for that, folks. As you can see, we're all under duress. Part of why we send no photography. We're not ready for the spotlight just yet. I hope you can understand what I'm saying. Refrain from reporting that incident. The audience nods in compliance. The audience, the media nods and says, yeah, we're not going to report that story to the general public. No way at all. They're going to be... None of them wouldn't be interested in that shit at all. But please, report everything else. Including the involvement of Armstrong. We thought it was the right time to know. She is here to protect, not to harm. This building is armed and ready. But not all the weapons are lethal. We have non-lethal means as well. So this place is far from a death trap. What exactly is set up? Did you set up Skynet? If Monica gets into that system, I might be fine, but it depends on how everyone else acts. Oh God. I will not use the lethal weapons. Then why did they get installed? This shit's getting used in the future. What's that thing called? Is it Chekhov's gun? Where you mention the gun above the fireplace in Act 1. It's being used by Act 2 or 3. That is, unless my hand is forced. We are protected in many, many ways. And both myself and Maxine share goals. We want everybody inside to stay alive. Thank you all for coming. Please get the fuck out. Singe bows to the audience and returns to his seat. They start to file out of the room. This was a lot to take in. I don't really know how I should feel. I mean, am I a prisoner here now? Am I not allowed to leave? That's not really cool at all. And we're surrounded by weapons? That does make me feel a little uneasy. Was Singe concerned that they couldn't be hacked or set off? Akron has been extremely smart and knowledgeable. I just met him, but... was his outburst as incorrect as Singe let on? Or are we potentially all in a dangerous situation? I take a deep breath and try to relax. By the time I'm calm, the room is empty. Save for those who are involved with the door. After a few moments pass, Singe turns to me. This is the first time he's addressed me directly. Well, he tries to address Keela as well. But it seems like he's lost in thought again. Well, that was a rather eventful conference. Never a shortage of quality entertainment. He smiles at us, seeming a lot more calm. Or perhaps it's like he's less professional. I guess he can relax a little after a speech like that. Being professional all the time would get tiring fast. I'm sorry about meeting like this. The circumstances are less than ideal. I was really looking forward to this. So, you're the leader, then? The one in charge of all this? I guess you could say that. But delegation is my expertise. That's why I have people like Rook and Jade. I could never do this all by myself. I'd cave under the pressure pretty quick. Managerial duties are less than forgiving.
I have to ask, why lock us up? Do you really think that's a good idea?
At first, I thought it was. But now I feel like it won't be easy. At least, not while Acheron is here.
Are you going to get rid of him then?
No, of course not. He's acclaimed the entire world over. There's no better candidate for this. Whether we agree with each other, though, it doesn't matter. They'll get the job done. He'd never risk his flawless resume. But I'd love to talk more personally. Would you two stop by my office?
No!
It's better with less prying ears. We have much to discuss together, and I'm sure you have many questions.
I definitely do, like...
Not here, Keela. But I'll happily answer them in my office. For your reference, it's room 2A. Keela nods. I do as well. It was definitely cool to be talking to the ringleader. I feel like he'd be able to answer all of our questions. There's more going on behind the scenes for sure.
But I wonder...
Would he be sending us home? Or would we be just tour with Daz instead? He gives us another smile before walking away.
Well, I guess I know where we're going. But I still have some stuff to think about. Meet me in front of 2A when you're ready.
Keela walks away and exits the room. Everyone else must have left while we were talking. Because now, the room is completely empty. I wonder what's bothering him so much. He's taken an interesting turn in the last little bit. I think he said something about his past. He seemed uncool with getting involved in the media. Perhaps that's what he wanted to talk to Singe about. I step down from the stage and see someone there. I could have sworn the room was empty just a moment ago. But it's a familiar face, so I go to greet them.
Why? And why did you bring tea? And cream?
Did you bring it for me? Why are you here in your maid outfit? Why did you bring snacks?
Shut up, Irish. Shut up, Clace. Shut up, Tyler. Everyone shut up. Like, everyone. She was a sad kitty. Okay? I try to make her feel better. This is why you can't talk to no one. This is why you can't go on adventures. This is why you can't go out in public. This is why you just stay home.
What is she doing here?
Oh. What did I do for your voice, girl? What the fuck? People are gonna have a goddamn field day with this episode, I swear to Christ. Oh, I hope he didn't see me. Hi, Ryan. Her shoulders are slouched down, her posture poor. Don't be sad, girl!
She seems to be an odd combination of scared and sad. But I knew who she was talking about. It was Rook. I asked her what the fuck she's doing here. Well, I heard what happened last night. I rushed over from work as soon as I could. That explains why they didn't have to pay the artist extra for drawing new costumes. But I didn't I didn't come to hear about Clace. I actually came for Rook, you know? I wanted to see how he was holding up. Wow, that sounds kind of rude, doesn't it? I mean, I definitely care about Clace. But I needed to see Rook. Does that make me a bad person? I mean, everyone else came here for Clace. But here I am, only caring about Rook. Honestly. No. It really doesn't. But that is a funny as hell response. You're a bad person. No, you're fine. That's great! Of course she's not a bad person. Death is like throwing a stone into a pond. It causes ripples and waves in a lot of places. It's a powerful force. She was not in the wrong. She lets out a soft smile when I say this to her. Sorry to put you on the spot. I guess I just need some sort of feedback. You still owe me, like, a maid experience, you said? Something like that? Rook handles this stuff quite differently. What, you mean in his phone? I mean, I did tell you a little bit. So I'm hoping you understand my situation. I didn't want him reacting the same way. Singe's organization needs Rook. Just like Cafe Chat needed Rook. When he's gone, things get chaotic. I just wanted to see his face. That expression can say a lot, you know? I wasn't expecting him to notice me. I just wanted to take a look, that's all. Yeah, this raises an interesting question. In an entire room full of people in business attire, or at least business casual, we have the one cat girl. Well, cat girl, that's saying something in a world of anthropomorphic creatures walking around. We have one person in there in a maid outfit, covered head to toe in hearts. And that's the one that's the least noticeable person in the room? For some reason, I thought I'd help. But I was wrong. It didn't help. It just made things more confusing. His face looked the same as always. I'd call it something like cold steel. Something that says, stay away from me. Missy Claire, I believe it's called resting bitch face. It's just I think it's literally just the dude's default face, and I know. Because this is my face in its default manner. Now we're good. In fact, it looked like he was unfazed. But that couldn't be right, could it? I'm worried about what he might do. She did care about Rook a whole lot, I'll admit. But I start to wonder if maybe it was too much. From my understanding, they've been out of contact. So then why is she always talking about him? He barely talks about her, which makes it weird. Was she a little obsessed? Sorry for rambling on, Ryan. I just don't want him to ditch Singe. Everyone needs to stick together here. You don't need to lose another person. Things are hard enough as it is. As I said, Rook is important. Either way, I'm glad I ran into you. It was nice to talk about things again. But yeah, I still owe you something. But this time, you have my word. I won't stop. Now, Internet, hear my word. Don't. Don't. No. 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 Internet, I've literally asked nothing of you, but please forget this particular line exists and move on. Oh, one more thing before I go. I want to ask you something about this. Do you think people can make up? You know, rebuild broken bridges? Or do you think it's a lost cause? You seem like a smart person. Am I being reasonable or emotional? Oh, God, this is a fucking... You know what, girl? I've already I think I might have already broken the heart of a small child when I said the mother is dead and gone, rotting somewhere in space. But I feel like I'll go gentler with you. Sure! Keep that stiff upper lip and think happy, positive thoughts. Don't be me. Don't be me. For fuck's sake, don't be me and smile for once. Oh. I rebuilt hope. I rebuilt hope. I did a good thing, I think. Either that or I just doomed this girl. She's gonna go chasing after someone who doesn't love them back and be crushed forever and ruin any hopes in the future of a stable, happy relationship. We're gonna delete this part. It's definitely possible, and that's what I tell her. People disconnect and reconnect all the time. Of course, largely dependent on the disconnect. If it was a sour departure, it might not be possible. But for two people who were once so close, I would say that it's definitely possible. Thank you. That's good to hear. I was thinking it could just be in my head. That perhaps it was a pipe bomb dream. Good to know that it's not just me. Perhaps I'll come back when things settle. And perhaps I'll reconnect with Rook. Well, I guess I better get going. I'm sure you have important stuff to do. Contests to win, stuff like that. I'll see you around, Mr. Lucky. She slowly walks away. But there's something in the way she moves. It's like she's happy. More so than yesterday. I should tell Kayla that we might go back to the cafe chat. He'd probably enjoy hearing that. Yeah. I'm gonna save. That's a long episode. I'm gonna end it here for now. We have to go further down into this rabbit hole. How far down does the rabbit hole for this stuff go? I'm afraid. What lurks beyond that door of this community? Oh God. Well, if you had stuck around to this end, bless you, child. You are a trooper. If Clace is watching this, and if he's still around, he's probably sitting there like, who the fuck is this guy? What is he on? I don't believe he's sober. I am. I'm sober. See you guys next time on the next thrilling adventure. Ryman's Bizarre Adventure. And Major Minor. There's a fuck ton of game left to go. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye.